Oh snap, we're back with the Marvel Snap video, as today, ladies and gentlemen, we bring back tempo stronger than ever with your boy Crossbones. As there was a bit of a lag there. Anticlimactic, but Crossbones is now a 4 energy 10 power play that says you can only play this at locations where you are winning. In case you don't know, Crossbones used to be 8 power. He kind of like felt left behind with the recent power increase of 4 drops and the inclusion of cards like Cold Obsidian, and now, you know, cards like Sentry being very playable with the Nihilist. It's kind of like really up the power level expected out of a 4 drop. And if you can't hit 10, hitting 9 is a sweet spot really, because you're right under Shang-Chi range. But 8 power just seems a bit too low, especially when you think about cards like Gladiator, right? Like obviously this is a negative downside to a very powerful base stat, but still, like the fact that a 3 drop can reach 8 power, and Crossbones had such a, honestly, quite a limiting effect. Like his effect is negative. Like it's actually, you cannot play Crossbones in a location to try to take it back. Like you can only play it in locations where you want to solidify your lead. And I think that's a great way to balance a card with such a high stat. And it definitely just got left behind, right? And they brought him back into the mix, also potentially to synergize more, or to have more cards to synergize with the like of Scar. I like the reasoning a lot, and I'm obviously very biased and happy that Crossbones got the buff, because I love playing some tempo. And I'm like, you know what? It's been a while. I've progressed my collection quite a bit, and I've gained also a lot of experience. Let's make a new, upgraded version of the deck that really, you know, I think this was the deck that I kind of restarted my my Snap journey with on YouTube, and definitely the first deck that caught people's attention when I came back to the game, right? So what is Tempo? Tempo is basically a deck that wants to outpace the opponent. We want to play ideally on curve. What I mean on curve is like we want to maximize our energy, like we want to make use of our energy. We don't want to float energy, which allows us to match up pretty decently against the opposing Red Hawks. And we want to just point slam. We want to spread out. We want to be ahead of the opponent so that we can lead to turn 5. Ideally with Daredevil on the board, we can develop a 3 drop into a 2 drop on turn 5 with Daredevil guidance, and then we can finish the game with a powerful 6 energy play. The ideal 3-2 play for turn 5 includes either Negasonic Teenage Warhead or Cosmo. One of these two allows us to effectively shut down an on-reveal, like a MODOK, for example. Any sort of like on-reveal effect that the opponent wants to go for, we can just completely halt that with Cosmo. We can protect our Crossbones from something like a Shang-Chi with Cosmo as well. And with Negasonic, oh boy, what can we not do with Negasonic? We can hit Sarah, we can hit a bunch of cards that go down on 5 in all sorts of different matchup. I love bombing Dracula with this, a card that otherwise people are not really expecting to be able to be countered before Red Patriot comes out, right? So we are able to combine our 3-drop play to shut down a specific play, and then we can back it up with something like Star-Lord. Star-Lord and Lizard are included here instead of the likes of Maximus and Medusa, which were in my initial Tempo deck. The reasoning behind that is ultimately Lizard, I think, is more reliable than Medusa, even though Lizard can be weakened. Lizard really embodies everything that this deck stands for, right? Like we want to have more points than the opponent from the very get-go, and Lizard helps you do that because 5 power for 2 energy with like no positioning requirement or anything is amazing. And unlike Maximus, he's not drawing our opponent's 2 cards. Turns out drawing your opponent's 2 cards on a 2-drop you want to play on curve, not really ideal. A lot of combo decks exist, and they're gonna eat you alive if you do something like that. Star-Lord got buffed with the Guardians of the Galaxy patch. I mixed patch and Galaxy. Ya boy with the Gotham is 6 power now, and 6 power, that is maximum levels of power. And that is just really ideal, especially with Daredevil on turn 5. We can play the Negasonic into like a Star-Lord, and we are having 8 points plus the ability to destroy whatever they're playing onto that location. So yeah, we're including Baron Zemo alongside Gladiator. Gladiator is just there purely for points, and so is Baron Zemo. Like you would think. I realize I have one of these splits. There we go. Baron Zemo is a card that is actually overstated. Like, people are playing him with mill, naturally so, but he also really belongs in a deck like this because he just gives us a lot of points without asking too many questions for 3 energy. Sometimes in some fringe scenarios, Baron Zemo can backfire, and you may see that in today's video. But God, this card is just really strong. It's 5 points on a 3 energy body that's also going to pull something that's going to be most of the time at least 2 points. So it's going to be at least 7 points split across 2 different bodies. And that makes him a worthy member of this squad right here. Gladiator and Baron Zemo representing our 3 drops that are played proactively. And what I mean by this is that we play them on turn 3, right? Like we love to drop that Gladiator into our location to get ahead of it. And then Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and Cosmo, like I mentioned, are our 3 drops that are ideally developed on turn 5 with Daredevil support. Iceman, no better 1-drop for a tempo deck, giving us, points while also disrupting the opponent's hand and their curve and sometimes ruining their day completely and auto-winning you the game. Iceman can do that. Omega level mutant right there. And of course, Crossbones, like I mentioned, to be able to really solidify a location. Alioth and Red Hulk are our 6 drops of choice. Before, in the earlier version of Tempo, my collection level wasn't as wasn't as advanced English. So I had Dr. Doom and Leader, and I was very happy with their performance. But now, especially with the release of Red Hulk, other 6 drops have fallen a little bit behind, to be honest. Alioth is there to just essentially capitalize on our game plan. Like, a lot of you may die of cringe by seeing this card, but I think this card is actually one of the most skill intensive cards in the game. Believe it or not, knowing where your opponent is going to make their play, because a lot of people are used to seeing Alioth with like lockdown strategies like Professor X and Storm, and therefore like you don't really have to guess as much. And sometimes the Alioth play is extremely obvious and is the only real play. Like, the effect is that strong, right? It's the ultimate I have initiative, I want to win play. But I would argue that in a deck like this that isn't really preventing the opponent from playing anything anywhere, like we're just kind of like, point slamming ourselves and try to disrupt their plays, but we're not really manipulating locations or anything like that. Alioth is more skill intensive because, especially when you're in the top 300 infant, you're facing decent players. Like, obviously rankings and everything, but we're facing pretty good players on average. You have to read them. You have to know exactly what they're going to do. That means you have to have a good knowledge of the meta. You have to understand what decks are trying to do. And you also have to try to put yourself in the position of your opponent and think like, okay, if I was them, what would I be doing? Like, would I be expecting a Alioth here? Like, yeah, it leads to quite some mind games, but it can be a very rewarding play. And yeah, okay, it's a little bit cringe, not gonna lie. But it would be kind of ridiculous to play a deck like this without Alioth, is all I'm gonna say. And Red Hulk is just broken, man. Like, this card is just nuts. Like, the fact that this card was 10 power and they buffed it, like it was data mined at 10, but then all of a sudden it was at 11. Like, at one point, the second they're like, you know what, this guy at 10 power is not good enough. Let's make him 11 points. And that's just kind of crazy to me. Like, I'm reformed. I'm not gonna diss on the devs, but sometimes their balancing is a little bit off, man, because this card is just like, what the fuck? Like, this card just it's bigger than Infinite. Like, in so many games, it actually gets bigger than Infinite, which is crazy, right? And of course, we play it. The ultimate 6-point slay and play because of the nature of our curve with tempo, because we have, like, we want to go 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop or double 2-drop, and then 3-drop into 2-drop. We deplete our hand, so we need to end the game with a 6 energy play. Otherwise, we're just gonna run out of gas, right? So that's a little bit of like Marvel Snap Curve 101 at the end of that deck tech, I think. And I will stop rambling because we've been at it for almost 9 minutes. Thank you guys for watching. Stay tuned for daily Marvel Snap content. Hope you enjoy today's games. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. A lot of times, like, people associate like a deck being hard with a deck being bad, but that's this deck actually has the potential, I think, to beat anything. But you have to read your opponent. You have to know what they're gonna do. And you have to, like, not get fucked over by Gladiator. That's also important. Surfer, they're probably gonna develop Brood here. The question is, if they play Brood with a buff, that's a 9-power Brood. 9-power Brood plus 15, 21. We always Crossbones here. And we snap. Like, we're actually going to heavily reinforce this because they're going to play Brood into it. And with a combination of Gladiator and Crossbones, this location is ours. That is a bigger Brood than I thought. Holy fuck. Wait, how did that happen? How did that... Oh, the Waka... Oh, shit. Negasonic Lizard in the middle, giving up on this side. And then, that's the beautiful thing about Red Hulk in this deck. People think, like, they think I'm gonna play Red Hulk. And they may just be like, nah, like Shang-Chi something. But we actually Alioth. This beats Dr. Doom on the left.
Nutty.
It beats, what? Duke of Monkey! The Duke of Monkey himself with the 10 gifted subs. I don't feel like I deserve it because of my emo-ness, but... I really appreciate it, dude. Thank you. There we go. There we go.
Victory.
Like doubling down on the kiln. Good shit. Thank you, Duke. The earlier you play Negasonic, the more likely it's just not gonna be good. Shit.
Opponent snapped.
All right. Can they make 9 plays in 2 turns? Can they make 9 plays in 2 turns? With a Falcon, they definitely can. They need 10 plays. Can I beat whatever they dump on the right? With Star-Lord Negasonic, let's see.
Systems go.
Four plays, 3 spaces. They cannot win on this side. They could Jeff. But I don't think these decks run Jeff. Like, I understand Jeff is really good, but in bounds, like, no way. Easy.
Victory.
Easy! Negasonic Star-Lord combo, baby. Let's go! It's kind of weird, though. Like, sometimes you forget that counts as, like, destroyed cards. Because if you destroy Wolverine in the deck, he doesn't spawn for some reason. Shit. I'm gonna Gladiator into Crossbones because Avengers Compound will prevent like a Shang-Chi on turn 5. And then it'd be nice to draw into Star-Lord or Lizard. We have like 2 draws to do that. Alright. Hope Summer's over there, okay. Does that change my plans? Is Quake worth here, or do we just play? I mean, we have a monstrous lead here. It prevents them from like ramping next turn. I think that's worth.
Clear for takeoff.
Nice. Ah, fuck. It was too obvious. Wait, what? Math? Math? To the right? We're gonna go Gladiator. They could further develop into Hell's Kitchen. But we're gonna bank on them not doing that actually. Okay, never mind. Cerebra. I could play Baron on the left.
Wind, aid my hand.
You ain't got Cerebra though. You ain't got Cerebra, brother. So what are you gonna do? What am I gonna do? Like, I give up on this lane. But Cerebro too, like they have Echo, they have Elektra, they have Daredevil, they have Mystique, Blue Marvel, they have Brood. They have Mystique, Blue Marvel, they have Brood, Mr. Sinister. I'm gonna play Star-Lord on the left to open it up. Cosmo is enough to stop like Mr. Like they just cannot. They cannot swarm the left, the right. I have way too many points. They lost Cerebro. Like they only have enough time. They can't like. They can magic in the middle maybe. But that still prevents them from like. They brood mid. Mabaku. Oh, okay, that's based. But I mean. What do you do against the Red Hulk, though? Mr. Sinister, Blue Marvel, Mystique.
Victory.
At least in a deck like this. People see Alioth and stuff like Thanos, and it's easy to like it sucks when it's everywhere. But I think in a deck that's actually like dedicated to this, I like it. There could be like healthier versions of the card, right? Like Juggernaut, Cosmo are healthier versions of it. But bro, like when this card exists, Alioth is like the least of your concerns for 6 reps. Oh.
Victory.
Boomer snap. Opponent sees your red hook. They do.
Opponent snapped.
They snap.
Snap.
Oh! Oh!
Victory.
Oh my god. Oh, fuck, okay. Cannonball is good in decks with Professor X or the ability to clog a location. Otherwise, it's just like, it's just moving something somewhere else. And if you're not filling up a location, then it's not actually like a good, it's not reliable as a finisher.
Got him.
I think, oh, they just played again, okay. Omega lol? Omega lol. Omega motherfucking lol. I think they played Demon this turn. To copy it. Star-Lord, clothing bots, baby. Got some Keck Insanes here, taking up space, but I have a Hulk. What do you have? What do you got besides, you know, demons? Thing is, if they play anything to the cloning bots, Sentry and Demon. Sentry and Demon. That's a total of 16 points. Total of 16 points, which puts them at math, 16 points, 25. 25. You lose to this. You can't even math, bro. You can't even math. What the fuck are you even doing? You can't even math. Got him. Just delete. I probably should have played like a Star-Lord for points. You know, I have Negasonic already. Easy. Double delete. Got him!